Hey everybody, this is Sixth. We're going to be having a game 1 from our round of 3, taken from the mixed group F, including the University of Technology Sydney, here between the red Terran Francis in the northern position on Shattered Temple, and TA's Scarecrow as the blue Protoss on the bottom side. So we've got cross-positional, vertically oriented on Shattered Temple, so we should be seeing a little bit of a longer game. We've got PvT. And don't you hate it when Audacity crashes? This is going to be the second time that I watched this game in a row. Nevertheless, it should be a pretty fun game just because I've watched it. Oh, no. Okay, so as a Protoss player, what I have been doing against Terrans lately is 3-gate Robo. I like to put a little pressure on, see what I can see with the Observer. And basically, if I think I can take it, I roll it, especially if the Terran goes for fast expand force fields. Very, very good at blocking those SVs from repairing the bunkers. And if I don't like what I see, I can just expand behind it because my macro is bad, and I can always afford an Nexus. So it looks like that Scarecrow is going to be scanning out close ground positions. He's going to see the void that was left by Francis as he lifted up and killed an SCV and ran away to this northern position. And basically what's really been frustrating me from Terran players recently, everyone's just going to snipe me on ladder now, is Banshee, Raven, Siege Tank, Marine all-ins. It's so hard to defend, especially with the Banshees have Cloak and sometimes even the tanks have Siege mode. Basically, because it's an all-in that allows some flexibility, you can slow push with the Siege Tanks if you want to. If you can snipe off the Protoss Observer, the Banshees can Cloak up and just wreak havoc, and that's basically good game right there. But either way, we're going to have to see what is going to happen in this epic game of epicness. Keep in mind that this is a best of 3, so we're guaranteed to see at least 2 games. Francis and Scarecrow just going to go at it with their workers. And yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to see the barracks going up. He's also going to be able to see this first refinery. So a lot of Protosses have actually been putting a pylon right here as soon as the barracks finishes, just because it forces Francis to either get a Marine out and kill it, which will take a really, really long time to kill a pylon with just 1 Marine, or it forces Francis to lift up the racks and make the add-on in front of the pylon, because you don't really want to float it all the way out of the range of a pylon, because that will really screw up your timing. So really this first add-on can be seen for free. The pylon gets cancelled afterwards, or if you want to let it complete, sure, why not? So we're seeing this first tech lab out of Francis. And I'm not going to give anything away. We could either see 1 or 2 things. We're either going to see a Marauder or we're going to see a Reaper expand. And what a lot of players like to do is actually get that first Reaper and then just take early map control of the map. Get a free scout on the opponent's base and then just follow that up with a very fast command center. But instead it looks like we're going to be seeing a Marauder. No signs of any concussive shells right now. It's quite a cheap upgrade, and I can't imagine that he's going to be doing anything else but expanding behind this. He's actually stopped mining a lot of gas, leaving 1 harvester on that refinery, playing it almost Zerg-like, I'd say, just because you do see a lot of Zergs playing around with their harvesters in gas. First Zealot from Scarecrow are going to be able to ward away the Francis SCV. And Scarecrow actually getting his 2nd gas at the moment, so he's not going to be going for a Stalker Zealot all-in 4-gate, or a super hard 4-gate, but we'll just have to wait and see what he is going to do. Second assimilator just finishing right now, and finally we see this command center going down for Francis at the top of his natural. Probe actually getting taken out right there, and the Zealot Stalker will go home. Zealot Stalker early pressure can be quite successful if microed correctly, and I think he'd actually be really good against this composition. I mean, there's only 1 Marauder. If the Zealot is able to stall for basically the Stalker to take down this Marauder in the meantime, then the Stalker alone could probably take down both of these Marines if they're not focus firing. But here we actually see a secret expansion from Scarecrow, and actually I really don't like this play for 2 reasons. Okay, 1, he's done it blind. You take a look at his vision, he hasn't really seen anything on the map. He's seen these forces in the center, which could imply that Francis is going to be expanding just because of the way they're sort of poised. It's more like, what vision are they denying you? Because they're taking the center position, he obviously doesn't want you to see in this natural. The same reasoning can be said if you see bunkers out here. Obviously he doesn't really want you to see this space, and he's trying to defend that. The second reasoning is that cross positions PvT, there are a lot of drop plays that go on, and so really Francis mid-game, if he goes for any such drop play, he's really likely to actually see this expansion. And if he scouts it out, it's going to feel really vulnerable. I mean, like, if Francis sends some bioforces over here, for example, there and also takes control of this center, then it's going to be really, really hard to save this natural, because the Protoss ball is going to be really slow from getting all the way from this choke to this choke. That's going to be really slow moving. And if he moves this way out of position, then Francis can either pull back his bio in time, or he can counterattack this natural, which will be really, really, really vulnerable. So I'm not sure why Scarecrow is taking that Nexus, just to be a little bit sneaky. I would have much rather seen him take this natural expansion. Basically because if he had scouted properly, he would have seen this command center as well going down. And it would have been no problems. I mean, like, expansion versus expansion. Hey, we're even on bases. We're both going to get to the mid game very, very easily. And now it looks like that Scarecrow is just going to be slightly behind, at least in my eyes. Because they're on 2 bases, but Francis's 2 bases are more easily defendable. But in the meantime, looks like that Scarecrow is going to be working his way up to 4 gates. He's also going to be going for pretty fast Colossi tech off the 2 bases. A worker transfer just occurring right now. And his obs is also finally going to be able to go in and check out all these barracks. He's currently got 3 with Tech Lab, a factory also going up. So he's going to be able to see the bio-heavy composition. And so he's going to be pretty happy that he picked Colossi, just because Colossi versus Marines, yum. 3rd and 4th gases also going up for Francis, so expect him to get some fast medevacs out right now, or maybe even some Vikings if he scouts. Let's take a look at what Francis sees in the base. He doesn't actually see anything past this first cybernetics core, past this first gate, so he really desperately needs to scan quite soon, and that can be a kind of syndrome that a lot of Terrans are in. They're quite stingy with their scans because they love their mules so much. Protoss fortunately do not have to choose between Chrono Boost and Observers. Thank goodness. But either way, 3rd and 4th gas also going down for Scarecrow at this moment, and he's actually getting quite a lot of use out of this Observer. He's going to be able to see the reactor going down and the starport, so expect to see these 2 switched out at the moment. And yeah, so first Colossi coming out right now. Extended Thermal Lance has not started at the moment. Scan going down, and he's going to see that there's no second base at the moment, but he's also may have spotted that worker transfer actually, which would imply that there's a base somewhere on the map. Why else send all these probes out? So currently, like, before he saw that transfer, if he was paying attention, he would have guessed that Scarecrow was on 1 base. So that's why he's playing really, really, really defensively. Or actually, the probes coming out could be a sign of an all-in as well. Which could be the reasoning for these 3rd and 4th bunkers at the moment. Not sure if I like how they're placed though, just because Colossi splash. Bleh. But good job on the missile turret preventing DT harass, because that's like something you definitely don't want to lose to 1 base to 2 base. I mean, if you're winning the macro game, it is always so painful to lose to some cheese or some sort of cheap unit, and more racks is actually being tacked on for Francis. And so Scarecrow is actually just going to be macroing up for the time being. Scan going down, and he will see the Colossi coming out, so expect him to get Vikings out. Yes, we see that on the production tab. Let's take a look at the units tab. We currently have 45 SCVs to the 44 probes of Scarecrow at the moment, keeping on top of his Chrono Boost for these Colossi at least. The second Nexus is actually quite high. And so from Scarecrow, I really wouldn't mind him seeing him take this base very, very soon. It looks like he's going to be putting down a probe right there to indeed do that. Just because then Terran will think, hey, it's even base, even base. We should be fine, right? And feel pretty, he'll feel very comfortable just to sit on 2 bases for the time being, and even try and take a 3rd and be defensive. Just because he early expanded, it's kind of what I feel his inclination is going to be, to sit back and get more bases. And so Francis is going to be playing quite defensively. His first 2 Vikings out right now. Second starport with a second reactor. So he's going to be pumping out these Vikings. Or maybe even get some medevacs. And it looks like Scarecrow, after putting that initial pressure on, is just going to be backing off a little bit. Out of Scarecrow, what I'd also like to see right now is some proxy pylons right here and right here, just to spot for any drops. Even here wouldn't be a stray, just because he has taken this early base and it is very vulnerable. He's currently extremely high on the energy right there. 3rd Nexus going down from Scarecrow right now, so if the longer this game goes on, actually it's going to swing more and more in Scarecrow's favor. Just starting his armor upgrade right now, which will help those zealots out quite a bit. Let's take a look at Francis's upgrades. He's only got 1 weapons on his bio, which I believe does cancel out the armor on the zealots. I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong. But either way, we're going to see that armory also being put down, as well as the +1 armor for the bio. So definitely going to start working on those upgrades. A lot of Vikings out very, very quickly from Francis, and he should be looking to take his 3rd quite soon, I believe. But he has not spotted this third base from Scarecrow. It looks like Scarecrow is going to be pushing out. He's got mainly Zealots in this army, so it's all going to come down to force fields on the Zealot charge. He does not have legs at the moment, only just starting that Twilight Council right now, actually, and here we do see a little bit of a Viking scouting party, and with the low Stalker numbers, these Vikings could actually do a lot of damage right now, able to take this first Colossi down to red health. Guardian Shield going up as well, so these Vikings doing pretty well, forcing that Guardian Shield, also taking down a lot of hull health from that Colossi. And so it looks like that will force Scarecrow to pull back, and so he really should start changing his composition up to the Stalkers. Really, he's got 4 Colossi, which are enough. Like, it's a pretty good number to have for. 6 is also a very good number, just because I think that's the critical damage to Marines. I think they can kill them with one swipe or something like that. And so really, if he keeps this Colossi alive, he can afford to spend his gas on other things like a lot of Stalkers. Instead, it looks like he's going to be getting his Templar Archives, so Storm also very good against the Bio, also good against the Menovacs if we do see any at all. Zealot legs also coming down. And so it looks like that Francis is going to be going around with his Vikings. He's going to see this pylon and that probe actually go to the right. And so he's going to follow the probe and see this Nexus. So we may see these Vikings drop down. Francis also ready in the center with another army. So as soon as this Protoss ball reacts, it looks like he's going to be looking to push in, and here come the Vikings. And all of them landing at the moment, taking down a lot of workers. Templar Archives just finishing, so High Templar can be morphed onto the field. Zealot charge should also be finished, and here we just look at the mini-map. This blue ball is going to be moving to deal with here, and really these Vikings can just lift up and fly off if they wanted to. But at the same time, a deadly Bioforce coming into the natural expansion that's just finished. Not stimming up at the moment, so it looks like these Vikings are actually going to be able to do a lot of work. There's not many ranged units at all that can hit air, so that first 2 Colossi go down. Third one may also go down, and it will go down. Could even get this last one, really only 4 Vikings left, but against the Sentries and the Stalkers right here, it could do a lot of damage. Breaking through these shields, breaking it down to the orange health, but keep in mind at the same time the natural expansion has gone down. Bioforce is streaming into the Protoss main, taking down the gateway, taking down the robotics facilities. Zealots desperately trying to be morphed in, but too many Bioforces at the moment. Here comes the last Colossi, and the Colossi does go down from that Viking just as it is sniped by that Stalker. And so Scoot and Shoot into the main from Scarecrow. Scarecrow even amazed, hey, you killed my last Colossi with that last Viking as well. And so the Zealot's just going to work, but it looks like that Scarecrow is just going to give up right now. He's not attacking with his ranged units at all. So Bio wreaking absolute havoc. First game from this best of 3 will go to Francis, and hopefully my Audacity does not crash again, so I don't have to like watch it again, please. Yeah, so nice play out of Francis. So that was the first game in this best of 3. Please join me for game 2. Thanks for watching. See ya.